Well, I hooked me up a radiator hose here. Of course, it's all leaking. We're running about 10 minutes. Didn't have enough water in it, so I filled it up with water. I'm going to try starting it. Little pump on. Working. Oh. Bump. 2 bumps. Strong. Here's gas. Down to 160 degrees. Water pump's working. Gas is joke. See what it sounds like. Yeah. Ran out of gas. So we got about 180 there. 40 pounds oil pressure. Timing's a little fast. Running absolutely quiet. So I got an oil leak there, looks like my water didn't work. hissing, no smoking. Whack it one. Sounds good. Well, motor doing its thing. I'm gonna mount this tank in here. I got some of this all thread. What I'm gonna do is screw that right in there and weld it onto this 90-degree bar. Big bolt, big nut. I'll clamp that down. That'll hold that tank plenty solid. And it shouldn't be too hard. Last major thing here is figuring out the shifter. These wires, they look bad, but they're going to be pretty easy. Everything up here in front's good. Moving along. Well, I made a couple of brackets here. I just welded a piece of metal on them. They're not really going to work very well because when I tighten them up, they want to twist and come off. So I'm going to have to put some kind of piece of metal all the way across there to keep them from twisting away from the tank. But that's pretty easy to do, and this will hold the tank in nice and solid, and we move on to something else. Well, here's a solution. Put some straps in on that, and it's really tight. Definitely enough to hold a gas tank. So now I can wire up some of my stuff, put in my logo, figure out where my trunk latch and stuff is going to go, and start finalizing some of this stuff. Put the frame on. Boy, I just barely missed my gas cap here, and it looks like this inlet here is up just a little, so I may have to put a little dent in my trunk right there to clear this fitting. It ain't one thing, it's another, but all in all, looks like it at least is fitting. Main thing I want to try to do is get this latch done here. Well, a little welding and cutting here. Tack that back in, and I made a hole here in the body. Yeah, that was a lot of fun. A little tiny Dremel and a drill bits and a file. Anyway, got it there. Still not perfect yet, but grabs and holes. And locks. And I've got this all pretty much on the edges. Might have to adjust my hole a little bit. Looks like I might have set it out a little too far. Might have to grind that down to get it flush. Anyway, I don't much care. At least I got a working latch. And it's pretty much straight on here. Next thing will be to put the hinges to it, and then I can adjust my final hole dimensions there for the latch, and just press on. Here's another fight finished. See, I had to double drill the hole there because I had the edge of this touching this metal and it just wouldn't go down right. But we got it now. And the hinge works good. It's sagging over on that one side, but looks like it's plenty strong. Brings it down to the right place. Lock works. So now at least I know where it's at and how hard it is to drill. Had to drill big ones in here in the body to get this these taper things to go down inside the body, so it would be kind of flat. You got it pretty flush, and I'll do this one here. And at least we'll have our hinges in, and I can lock it. I don't really care about the skin for now. If I can just get it all hinged up and put in and painted black, that'd be good enough. I'm really having a lot of trouble boring these holes. All my drills seem to be bad. I can drill it with a little tiny one. And then another one I can open it up a little. Anyway, for some reason I just can't get drilling down. Well, they're kind of in and bolted. I haven't drilled this one yet, but that's where it'll go. I can open it up. Got a little pressure right in there. I have to tighten the hinges while it's up. And bring it down and lock it. Really good here on the sides. It looks like it might need to move that way to the left just a little bit, but that's as you can see, kind of easy to do. I can probably adjust this striker here so pull it over all the way to the left. Anyway, it's on and real straight, and opens up, stays open. And that's really the whole purpose I wanted here. Looks real clean. Looks like everything is right at the edge, so knock that lip in just a little, put it under that edge. Anyway, there's my deck plate hinges, 99% done. Moving on here with my grill and headlights. I put a screen in it. Got a cool old Dodge Brothers emblem put in there. Glued it to the screen, and the screen was flush against the top of the radiator, and when I drilled the holes to mount the radiator, they were and you can see they're about 3/8 of an inch or something. So I took it all out, lowered it down so I could get to this bottom one. I got a little more to go there, and then I can mount this up here permanent, put my light bar on, and where this radiator hose crosses over the steering unit, I'm going to make some kind of bracket to squash that hose a little and protect it. So I've got another hole to drill over here, and a sheet metal screw to put in it, and then I can mount it back like it's supposed to go and move on to the light bar, wiring, thermostat, switch, and all that stuff. Well, there's the light bar in, bolted down. Just put a little paint on my nuts there so they would all be black. Good. About 3/8 of an inch on both sides. Radiator straight. I think I got that little emblem off. But it's pretty close to the middle. Good enough for a rat rod. Won't have to take that apart anymore. Just like getting it hot and everything helped my radiator hose take the right shape. And not have to do anything down there. Probably better off if I don't. So this side's done. Now I guess I just move on to the rest of the million little things I gotta do. Headlights are on. Now I got a couple of these guys. They're kind of tricked. They got turn signal made into them, but I got to get the wire through there so I can wire it. Well, here they are on. This one cracked, but it don't look too bad. Turned out that I had to grind off where they put that orange reflector in there. It was see, there's 3 places here where it has little tabs, and they just stuck it through and glued it, and the tabs were sticking out so far I couldn't get the ring on, so I had to cut that up. Anyway, finally got them on. Black is ground, green is low beam, red's high beam, and the other little red one is my turn signal. So anyway, there's the lights. Starting to look like a car a little bit. Now I can run my wires there, and I think I'll run them both up this one post and then across the light bar there, rather than trying to run 2 sets. I'll lay them out and see what it looks like. Well, here's the part of the deal. I got this all plumbed in here for the radiator and fan and light. And I got this solenoid figured out and out of the way, and I got the power from the start side of the solenoid hooked up. and I ran it all inside. I still haven't got this headlight done, but I had a lot of wires coming out of here, and I just couldn't mount that coil. So what I did do is I put the coil inside of there. It's up pretty high. I maybe move it a little, but I got my tachometer, power, solenoid wire, and ignition wire all hooked up to it correctly. The wire goes through the firewall, and it looks like at least this would be one place in this open car that the coil's not going to get wet. And we've got the fan relay and everything all kind of hooked up here. So kind of the last of my wiring conundrums, and I'm gonna try to get these gauges buttoned up and some of the junk cleaned up here. But it made it much cleaner to get the coil out of the front. I really just didn't have any place to put anything. I couldn't get it in here. I tried to put it on the manifold bolt, everything I could think of, and of course the other side's got the brake on it. Anyway, that's much cleaner. No coil at all, just one wire coming out of the firewall. And shouldn't mess with your feet or anything. So good job on hiding that. Now here we are, moving along. I don't know where I left off here. Basically trying to do all my wiring. I've got this front part pretty much all put together. I sorted out the thermostat business. Turned out that I couldn't find anything to fit the hole down there in the radiator, and it was supposed to be the thermostat. I mean the fan switch. We got this all in. Of course, my wife decided to decorate it. And moving along on wiring everything. I've got my fuel gauge in, it works. Everything works with the key switch on, and fan all works good. I pretty much did my wiring here. I'm just now running the dash lights. This is my turn signals here. I gotta put something in, and now I'm running my power to my fuel pump. I've got a third brake light wire here. I'm going to use it for the power. This is all done. Just moves along real slow, but we'll just keep on pressing here. I've got to put in my neutral switch, safety switch, and some other stuff. So slowly poking along. Just continue. It doesn't look like much gets done, but every day you can see there's less and less wires. Now I'm back to my distributor deals. I got a HEI distributor for a 440 or something It was about 2 inches short on the shaft. I could have fixed that, but it was so tall that the terminals interfered here, and I'd have had to cut that bracket right there in the middle for the hood. I didn't want to do that, so I decided to go back to the original distributor, and this is my chopped up vacuum canister down in there. Right now I've got it's hitting contact in the manifold on both sides. I think I've got enough in there to find the timing mark. And what I did is I jacked up the rear of the motor. Let's see if I can get under here. Up there on top is the bracket that I made for the motor, and I've got two big pieces right here. These are 1/4 inch, so that one there on top raised the motor 1/4 inch, which gave me enough room for the distributor. And what I'm going to do is weld this and then take it out and drill a hole in this bottom one, and I'll be able to mount something in there. I'm going to put a hole and a bolt about where that clamp is, so it won't be all welded in. And I think a bolt is only just going to help keep it from twisting, so I don't have to have anything very big in there. And I've got the same deal over on that side. But that's what I'm going to do now, is just weld these two brackets together here, take them out and drill my hole, and then I'll weld that top piece onto the mount. So hopefully, if I have to take the transmission out or something, I'll be able to jack that up and get that whole mount out of there without just get it out. I don't plan on taking the transmission out, but at least I got a chance of taking it out if I have a bolt in it. And if I weld it all in, well, that's a whole nother story trying to change it then. Well, I tried tapping that, and that cross member is just too thin really to put a bolt in. So what I did, I just welded that bracket onto the cross member here, so you've got it where you can cut it off pretty easily in case you have to take the transmission out. But these tack welds should be strong as a bolt anyway. Again, ugly weld, but should be good enough for what I'm after.